Boy, read this. Are the same prescription as last time? It come like the pill him prescribe him one. Come like this a doctor want kill people. Every time I get the pill it a run me belly. We don't want to take the pill, you know. Come. Read this. Want know for the same pill as last time.
What is it, Grandma?
Why? Look after that foolishness. Me say turn it off.
This is a doctor's prescription. How's anybody supposed to read this? All I could read is her name. Oh my God. What am I gonna do? Oh God. I hope she doesn't beat me. Where is that boy? You can't read. Grandma, I can't read this. It's in handwriting.
But kiss mirrors. How would this little boy you talk about? Handwriting. I know you take right with a school. What type of foolishness this? Boy, listen me. You have to study your book. You can't go to school and come and talk about handwriting. And you take right with a school. Boy, don't make me have to come at the school and when the teacher talk, you make sure you not talk, you know. Because you come in like you not learn nothing when you go to school. You come and talk about handwriting. Where you get that talk there from? Pure foolishness.
Hey guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be discussing the importance of taking advantage of your ability to read. My great grandmother, who I'm always portraying in those videos, was not blessed with the ability to read a book, and she always stressed to my sister and I that being able to read, it empowers you and it teaches you things that sometimes the teacher can't teach because you are diving into the book. So with that being said, roll the intro. Now, growing up, I wasn't much of a reader. And to be honest with you, I had probably finished maybe 2 chapter books before I ended up reading almost 10 different forex books. Forex gave me a huge opportunity to read something I was interested in. And it opened up the doors for me to be able to start reading all kinds of books. Now, if you're just starting off again, you're going to find it difficult to get back into the swing of reading. You're going to notice that you may feel discouraged because you maybe want to stop after the first page, maybe even after the first chapter. First thing you got to do, you should identify what form of reader you are. From what I've read, there are 3 forms of readers. There's a reader that will pick up a book and read the first, let's say, 8 chapters and then be done with that book and move on to another book. So this person will not get through to the end of the book. They will read literally just the first few chapters and move on. The second type of reader is somebody that will literally go through every chapter, read maybe the heading of the chapter, and see if that chapter pertains to something that they're interested in. And obviously the third type of reader is that ideal reader, who is the person that can pick up a book and read that book from the front page to the back page and hopefully retain most of the information that they are reading. After you've identified what type of reader you are, then you can slowly but surely start to read maybe, let's say, 1 page a day. If that's what it's going to take to build your reading habit, then you need to be consistent. This 1 page a day is only going to take you about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It's going to build a skill that's timeless. Remember, the key is not to overwhelm yourself with the idea of having to finish a chapter or even having to finish the book way too fast. Take your time. Like I said, now that you've identified what type of reader you are, you can slowly work your way to a successful reading habit. The different types of literature that you can get into. I personally choose to read anime manga. I've grown up reading this stuff. I started off watching Dragon Ball Z, and it slowly but surely moved me into the realm of actually reading manga, Japanese manga. I also read forex books. I also read motivational books, but if it were my preference, I would read manga all day. So find something you enjoy. I'm not telling you that you have to go out there and start picking up these big textbooks and start trying to dive through them and become some type of chemist or engineer. All I'm saying is the brain is a muscle, and just like all the other muscles in our body, it needs to constantly be stimulated and worked. So reading is probably one of the only and maybe best forms that do that. As a muscle, like I said, it needs to constantly be worked. So even if you're only doing a page a day, and slowly work your way up from that page a day, but every other muscle in the body is worked. Your legs walk, it's being worked. Your arms pick something up, it's being worked. If that muscle didn't operate properly and efficiently, then you wouldn't be able to live a quality of life. And it's the same thing with your brain. If your brain is not operating at its peak, it's going to be very hard for you to deal with a lot of things. As a forex trader, I take exercising very seriously in order to stimulate my brain, and also reading stimulates my brain. So everything goes hand in hand when it comes to that ultimate forex package. You need to be taken care of here in order to make sure that you're taking care of what's going on in the market. And for regular people, reading will set examples for your children that will want them to read. I grew up in a home where a lot of the times people were watching TV but screaming at me to read my book. At the end of the day, as parents, you need to lead, like I said, by example. If you read even 2 pages a day, your child is more likely going to be inclined to want to read 2 pages a day. That's how it works. Kids are a product of their immediate environment. If they grow up in a home where nobody's reading, it's going to be very hard for that child to come out a reader. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're not starting them off on the right foundation. They watch what they see and they're going to imitate. So try your best. Another great method to try to get some reading in, if you're sitting there and staring at a TV screen, turn the subtitles on. The subtitles will allow you to engage in the text and alongside maybe even pick up things that you probably wouldn't have heard. So if you find it distracting, I feel sorry for you, because at this point, I think the easiest way for somebody who is sitting down and staring at a screen all day and doesn't want to pick up a book and read, turn the subtitles on. That's another form of reading, and yet still you're enjoying your favorite segment. Text messages. Try your best to speak or write your text messages as formally as possible. Act like you're in English class. It's another way of practicing your English and also reading, because as you're typing that text, you're actually reading it. So if you're typing something that's a little bit, I guess, abbreviated and not the full term, it's gonna affect your reading ability to a certain extent. We're trying to find a way so you can practice in a form where it's not direct, it's indirect, and you're still training your mind. So if you can attempt to text in full messages, or let's say full words, it can really help to advance your reading when you're not even noticing. The action of reading can be taken anywhere you go in life. You could walk into a room and attempt to read the room. You could look at an art picture and attempt to read the art. Like I said, reading can be seen and done anywhere you go. So if I can't stress the importance of reading anymore, please get out there, pick up a magazine, pick up a book, turn on your TV, and turn on your subtitles. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in again, and stay tuned for the next video.